went into it like its own time. Okay,
What is the 23rd?
August star.
Board committee.
Oh, okay.
All right, it is 6 p.m. I'm gonna go ahead and call to order the downtown management board meeting for the night. Looks like we have a light agenda. First off is the consent agenda, approval of regular meeting minutes from September 19th, payment of September bills, and acceptance of September expenses and income reports. I'm open to a motion to accept the consent agenda as presented.
So moved.
We have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Do we have any board discussion, questions, comments, concerns? With that, I'd like to go to a vote. All in favor of accepting the consent agenda as presented, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same side. And that passes. And public comments? Thank you, public. Let's go on to new business reports by downtown management board committees.
I'm gonna let Andy start.
April's gonna give the parking report. Now I have two things maybe to say and then we'll be.
The marketing committee did not meet in September, so we had a kind of a bigger agenda. Here for October, so you'll see the minutes in there. They're pretty in depth. This was our first meeting with our new member Becky from Bear Cub, which I was excited about. Really just kind of, I mean, the minutes are in there. We're working on ladies opening night. A big update would be, I guess, the holiday catalog. The committee decided to spend the time and effort that we would typically do on the holiday catalog in other areas for a more robust holiday shopping campaign for November and December. So I'll start working on that here soon. And then besides that, we are still working with Rotary on the holiday parade, which will be the Saturday after Thanksgiving. And then I think they would like a topic of date change as soon as possible after this parade in November to start planning for 2024. So I think there's talk of possibly putting it on the DMB agenda in November to discuss a date change to the second Saturday in December for 2024. So, but this year we're going ahead as planned for the Saturday after Thanksgiving, and Rotary's working on it, and we're facilitating when and where is needed. So that's about it for me.
Thank you very much, Andy. Anybody have any questions, comments, concerns for Andy regarding the marketing? With that, let's go to April for the parking committee.
The meeting notes are in here, a couple of highlights. We're gonna have a trolley meeting with the drivers on Friday, and then we have all of the staff. And that's why. The next thing was the St. Francis discussion. We've got a meeting tomorrow morning with the parent, and then we're attending the advisory meeting on Wednesday night. We also had an up north live reporter come to the office wanting to discuss it, at which point we just gave them some information on our permits, the tokens, and all the things that we've been working with the parents to put in place.
So someone called the news agency to speak about us enforcing a rule that has always existed, but they felt they were above.
Correct.
Okay, just want to make sure I had that correct.
So when I gave a gentleman the information, and he could not find any parents to go on air. So it may still become an issue, and it may not.
Well, we are definitely gonna see how it goes tomorrow night. We'll be at the student advisory meeting, and the principal was very happy. That was a recommendation of the parking committee that staff attend that, and so we're going to go get eaten alive.
We'll have facts and data.
Yeah.
And then we'll go into it.
Awesome.
The principal was, I think that was your idea, Ben. That was, the principal was, he jumped right on it.
And I think that was, I will pass credit to somebody else.
It wasn't you.
No, Jennifer's great about that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
That actually being was David.
And it could have been.
Oh, might have been, yeah.
Oh, yeah, because it was, oh, yeah, that's right.
I know I missed the last couple meetings, but this is about pulling in from parking and not paying the meter while dropping kids off.
Right.
we've been pretty lax on enforcement, to be nice. However, people would then an hour after drop off be mad that they got a ticket, full hour after. So we tried to be nice and give a little bit, and then there was a lot of, well, my kid goes to St. Francis, I can park here all day if I want. So, well, that's not quite the intention.
So the talking points too is I'm just gonna stop for 5 minutes to get some coffee, 5 minutes to pick up a book, 5 minutes to get some dog bones. You know, it's just equal enforcement across all meters Monday through Saturday.
And if people come to all of you and ask you about this, if we didn't have meters in front of the school, it would be free parking. And the people who live on that, work on that side of town, and some who live over there too, would park in that free parking all day long, and they would never get to the door to pick up their kids. So we're managing parking for their benefit. That's the big one to me.
I was about the crooked tree parking by Sharon. I think we talked about that.
Oh, I forgot about that, yeah.
I handled that by talking to several teachers contacted me about the concern of, well, how we're a bus, and I said, then you can purchase tokens, we'll sell you $8 worth of tokens for $5 a bag, just come in and buy them. So I connected them with Becky's office, and I don't know if they did or not.
I don't think they did. I think we set them aside. I don't know that they did.
Okay,
You know, if you were in a city school,
but I got calls on it.
Yeah, I know, you get
And I
calls, John.
understand that they are disabled. I understand that there is a small bus. I think sometimes they use cars.
Mhm.
It's $6 a week. It's $3 a week, I think is what they would pay.
It's when you start making the exceptions for some and not for others, it's just, it gets, but I think the reason I had forgotten that happened, John, is because I don't think they did follow up and come in, but April, bless her heart, she went over to St. Francis this October 1st when this kicked in. She walked around and she talked one-on-one with the parents, and she had tokens in her bag, and she sold bags of tokens to the parents, and they said, oh, this is a great idea. And there were a couple who wouldn't speak to her, but you know, she had some good FaceTime with them, so we'll work this out.
I also got the emails. I think we talked.
Yeah, we
I
did.
got the same emails and the calls. From a teacher.
So we haven't heard from a teacher, but we do have one parent we scheduled a face-to-face meeting with tomorrow morning.
Sure.
you know, I just wanted to add, we moved from Chicago 12 years ago, and schools are in cities in
Mhm.
downtown, and this is downtown Petoskey with parking meters, and there is no school that you pay the parking meter, or you need to have the right permit in order to park, and you will get a ticket. It's not abnormal.
Here, Mike.
No, it's not.
Oh,
And
Yeah, she got a push button.
yeah,
sorry, I didn't. Sorry.
Sarah's gonna love this.
Sorry.
That's okay. It's good to know, because the principal at St. Francis did say to us that he's asked around at other schools, but he can't really find a school either. I don't think that, where he didn't call anyone in Chicago, so.
And
Or an urban setting with
Yeah.
meters.
Yeah.
any other questions, comments, concerns for April regarding parking? Well, it's Becky's turn.
Yeah, so I don't have that much. I'm delegating a lot of things and finishing up things. I will say that the organization task force did meet, and they are following up on hiring a replacement. Hopefully that person will be here by the first of the year. There are ways to get around it if they're not, so nobody needs to panic. I do want to get the signage finished that is partially done around downtown. The ones that we worked on earlier this year that have the brass plaques on them. The brass plaques are still on order, and there is a problem with the original artwork for those. Those plaques were done over 25 years ago, and the record keeping just wasn't that good on keeping the artwork, and things weren't kept on in digital formats. And so we're working with the museum to see if they can get some of that artwork back, so, but that will be done. I also am meeting with Sign and Design on Monday, and we're gonna talk about that entryway sign that I talked to you about last month. Want to get that done before the end of the year, before at least the ground freezes. It does seem like there's a lot to keep busy with, but it's great to have two directors working that can take a lot of the work, so. I guess I could spend the rest of the year cleaning out that closet in my office.
You will need it.
And I'll be crying while I do that. Oh. So unless you have questions.
Questions, comments, concerns for Becky? Next is report by city staff.
Who are not? Ben, I did think of one more thing.
Oh, one more thing, Becky.
Before I go, I'm also working on a presentation. I want to do a DMB timeline to talk about all the things that have been accomplished even before I got here, but which was not that long. When you look at it, it was Carlin for a couple of years and Andy Hayes for a couple of years, and then Tammy, I can't think of her last name, but she was here for a year, I think. But how this organization grew, and then it can be in the archives, because I like history. That's what so I would like to share it with you all, maybe at the December meeting, but I also want to take it to the city council, John. And I'm going to talk to Shane about this. I'm sure he'll let me on the agenda. No?
No,
Sure, no. But I think,
why would we not?
I think city council
Sure.
needs to know what this organization does more intimately. And they'll understand more as they move forward, and will make relationships better going ahead. And it won't be more than 10-12 minutes, but I've blotted it out and put it a little bit together, and just so expect that. And I think that there's one council person who's said she wanted to meet with me several times, and because she thinks, oh, you're just such a wealth of knowledge, you know so much. Well, I think she's right, but I also think that it will give city council a good idea of what an organization like this does and make it better. That's all I got.
Perfect. That sounds like a good idea. I like the the history report. Report by city staff. I suppose that would be John this week. Mayor Murphy.
And I kind of share this spot, so assessment. We approved your assessment district layout.
John, turn on your mic, please.
It will be coming back to city council in 2 weeks. This was identifying the role to speak of. The next will be the final vote on it, which will be happening in 2 weeks. There's implementation of the Eagle agreement for Maple Block, where city is give it their best effort offers, and where we've signed off basically the brownfield, the $1 million loan, and it's in their ballpark now to implement. Will be implementation. We'll have one final vote on that to public hearing. There's early voting. The state has identified early voting, so you have 3 ways of doing it: absentee, going to the polls on Tuesday, the voting day, or you can now go, and they're setting up a system where it'll be 8 days, something like this, where you'll go to the VFW hall and you can actually go in and vote there. So that was set up by the state. Cities can do it alone, or they can do it with a county, or they can have the county work with the county to do it, or do separate cities together. The city, Canine, said that they would happily lead the charge, so they've identified the VFW over on the way to Harbor Springs, the VFW hall. It's that airport corner, turn towards Conway. It's on your left. Your phone will pull it up if you just ask your phone, it'll take you there. But there'll be early voting. They're still setting up the times, and it has to be like 8-10 hours a day, and it has to have some opportunities for people to attend and do that. We also discussed the ward city conventions. As you know, we moved our city conventions to June from July, and we're going to keep it there for the next year. One Ward One wanted to be in city chambers rather than. I don't know where they are, some wherever, but they want to be here. So that was the only discussion, and so that was approved. Public safety of the collective agreement for 2024 to 26 was approved last night. Arts Commission there's a meeting for the Arts Commission. That's Monday, the 23rd at 11 o'clock, and that will be right here. I felt it was important that we move it from
That was a good call.
it needs to be open to the public. We need public. This is a public meeting. The city council voted on the board members that we're working on terms. So the agenda will be posted on the city website. It's at 11 o'clock. If we have issues, then we end up moving it to 6 o'clock at some point to accommodate people participation. There's one other thing that I threw in as on my own was the Walk Against Hate, which is this Sunday at 2 o'clock. Starts at Pennsylvania Park. They'll be doing a walking figure 8. Ultimately, they'll end up right down here at Festival Park or whatever it's named at this today. Festival Place. It'll end up there. There'll be a few real short speech and stuff, and that'll wrap that up. So that
Charlie Millard is going to play down there.
Charlie Millard will be playing.
And I just was able to put this together today. I believe that the trolley will be running. The people who want to park down here or park up there, and it's going to go back and forth from the waterfront. I think I have a driver, so.
I think that's fantastic. I know Charlie Wilmot was talking to you about in Val, because there are older people that may not be able to walk the distance or want to, but can ride this way. This is not a Palestinian. This is not a Jewish Israel. This is a walk against hate. It was scheduled long before the problems that are currently going on. This was scheduled this is a national movement that's been going on for, I think, 3 to 6 years now. And we embraced it here. So if you have any questions on the city stuff.
Well, I think additionally this morning, I noticed they put an absentee ballot box right out here in the corner, which is nice.
It is nice there. So you can drop your absentee in there, put a stamp on it, your choice, or drop it off. You can walk right in and hand it to the secretary as well. You have choices.
I like it. It's making voting, it's removing barriers people may say they have in the voting process.
Yeah. I don't know. If you have a barrier to voting right now,
Well, and it's
there's something really wrong.
that way. It's removing barriers people say they have.
Yeah,
There are some challenges, but
yeah. If somebody needs a ride, I know a bunch of people that would give you a ride. If you need a ride to the poll, call and we'll find you a ride to get there. There's no reason not to be able to vote.
City makes it nice and easy, which is good.
You can also do an absentee, and you can get lifetime absentee ballots now where you don't have to every year fill that in. Mine just came in the mail and it was like, wow, this is nice. So I encourage you to look at that as a possibility if you want, because they'll mail it to you well ahead of time. Put a stamp on it and it's done.
You don't even need to put a stamp on it. It's free postage returned in the US.
Oh, is it?
It is.
Okay, well, there you go.
Yeah, I do absentee because work travel schedules and it's wonderful.
So that's the summary for the city. Thank you, Robin, for about to hand in your form, and you will be the first board out of 12 other people that don't have them turned in. Different boards, it's really hard getting people to turn in stuff. It's terrible. If you are getting off the board, please get with the people in charge of the board. Any of you guys talk about it, and let's always make sure and have an opening to communicate to get new people on the board if we need new people on the board. I'm always open to any applications that we get.
All right, thank you, John. Any questions, comments, concerns for John and city staff? Any just general comments in general, I suppose. Might call this for a super record fast meeting before we even hit 6 months.
Were we gonna discuss anything about our?
Or committee,
or-
we'll do that in the next one.
Okay.
Yeah. So with that, I suppose we'll adjourn the meeting.
Shane's not here because we're leaving tomorrow morning before 7 o'clock to Traverse City for 2 days in a row of meetings with Michigan municipal leagues. So
That sounds like
isn't that gonna be fun?
That is,